Hello, Caitlin here. So I want to discuss Oktoberfest with my experiences in Germany compared to the US. And I'm going to be discussing the attire, I'm going to be discussing the history, the food, the beer, and you're in luck, I'm doing a beer tasting and I'm also sharing a recipe of how to make this cookie, which I filmed making myself. So let's get going. So we got to start from the start. So I apologize if you see me looking up, that's because I actually have notes, so I'm a little bit more organized. So in 1810, the first festival, it wasn't labeled Oktoberfest, but it was actually celebrate the marriage of Louis and Teresa. They're like the new king and queen, and it was just a really great festival, and they decided to repeat it the next year. So over time, there was a lot of history behind it and a lot of little bitty details. A lot of things came and went. One of them being horse racing started and that phased out. Another one is that they had agriculture, and I feel like that phased out, but I feel like it didn't because I have seen in the US that like a lot of like festivals always include farm animals. So I have not been to like all of the Oktoberfest in the United States, but I definitely could tell you that like I could definitely see some farm animals, and I think that'd be really fun for the kids. So another one is that it wasn't just regular festivals. At one point they did have like carnivals. Those came and went just like the horse races. What it was is that it wasn't a beer festival initially, but when it finally had like really the beer component added, that's where it really decided, just really started to take off once they decided to add beer. So it's really great to celebrate. You're actually celebrating a marriage of a couple, believe it or not, even though it's turned into Oktoberfest. So Oktoberfest, the couple was actually married October 12th of 1810. So what it is that it usually runs mid to late September, and then it goes to the first Sunday of October or October 3rd, the latest. So you might see things saying, oh, it ranges from like September 16th to October 3rd. That's why there's a little range, because it keeps changing a little bit, but that's the range. In America, we always think it's October. It's Oktoberfest. It's not quite how it's supposed to go, but I get it. Oktoberfest. But I kind of like it that some places do it in September and some places do it in October, so that way you could actually be able to enjoy both. So it's a little pleasant to know that we're not so strict about dates and that you could visit more than one. So attire. Attire is really fun and really interesting to learn. So what I am wearing is a dirndl, DIRNDL. So depending on how you tie, the apron can tell people whether you're single or taken. So if you tie it to the left, like me, it means you're single, and yes, you can flirt with me. If it's on the right, it means I am taken, do not flirt with me. If it's in the front, it means you're a virgin. If it's in the back, it means that you are probably either a waitress or a widow, or just, you're just basically working. So that's a little fun facts about dirndls. So dirndls, they always have the apron, and usually people wear thick socks if it gets cold and stuff, but I noticed that people either wear nice booties like this, or they wear Mary Janes. Some people just wear their hiking shoes because they just want to be comfortable because they're doing a lot of walking. So be comfortable, but I noticed that it's always usually like a boot or a Mary Jane for the females. So for the males or female, I've worn it too before, it's lederhosen. So I do not own a pair of lederhosen because I just couldn't wear suede. It's not stretchy, I couldn't imagine it being comfortable, but I did notice a trend in the US and I did it, and I think I wasn't the only one that thought of it. So the Bavarian colors are blue and white like such. So if you take corduroy, which has that, absorbs light kind of texture, it kind of reminds you of suede. No animals killed in this. So if you pair these two together, maybe add some suspenders, it will look like you're wearing lederhosen or you're mimicking the style. It's really fun. So another thing about outfits is that you will notice a certain flower. This little cute flower right here, this white one, that is Idleways. So if you ever saw The Sound of Music, I think she's on the balcony and she's like, Idleways, Idleways. That's the flower she's talking about. It is an alpine flower. This flower is very velvety in texture. The men would actually climb the mountains, pick these flowers, climb back down, and give it to their sweetheart or somebody that they were very interested in. And it was considered a very big honor because the guy had to, my mic, so sorry, because the guy had to actually go up the mountain to go get them for you. It's not something you just have. So another one that you might see people sport in is one of these alpine hats. It is called, I am so sorry, I don't know German, Tyrolean. Tyrolean. So the Tyrolean hat is because it's Tyrol in the Alps. So it's the Tyrol Alps is Switzerland, Germany, Austria, and Italy. So this is more popular technically. It's more of a thing in Austria, but you're still going to see them at festivals everywhere in general. So this one has no pins because it's just a novelty one that I ended up getting. So you might see them. They're usually green, that dark olive green, kind of like this guy. So what it is that you'll see pins. The pins, they're not really like extra significant, like they have to mean anything, but they usually mean something to the person that is wearing them. So for me, I probably would wear pins of where I've been, maybe animals, like if I'm more of a cat person, dog person, you could basically tell that. You tell people where you've been, your favorite animals, or maybe hobbies. So that's just a little fun hat you can have. So you see a lot of those, and they usually have feathers, and sometimes the feathers can be very, very elaborate. They're not always feathers. Some of them, I think, are even fur or hair from animals. So they could be very customizable and fun, but usually it is the olive green with one, with at least one feather in it. This is navy blue, probably trying to be a darker version of the Bavarian colors, but let's just, oh my god, Tyrolean. I can't pronounce things, I'm so sorry. So let's do a little bit of taste testing. So I don't know if I should start with the beer or what. The beer is starting to sweat because I've tried to redo this video so many times. So one of the first ones I think I want to try because I know it's dark is this guy. So I am going to butcher it, but it's Maximator Augustiner Ramonchen. If an American were to try to pronounce it, that's how we pronounce it. I'm so sorry, Germans. So the reason why I am very skeptical of this twist, let's test it. No, that's not twist. So I'm really skeptical if this is going to taste that good because when I was in Germany, not during Oktoberfest, but you end up learning things with the locals. All right. Oh, not a lot of foam. So they said, we do not, I repeat, we do not bottle it and ship it because it won't be fresh. That has little to no foam. I want to taste that so bad. So I think I'm going to put it behind next to it. Let me clear some stuff up. So I'm going to have to keep, for aesthetic purposes, I wanted you to see the handles, but I guess I'm going this way so I could try to at least put it next to itself. It's like my babies. They're sitting with me. All right. So this is this guy. It just smells like beer to me. It's like red wine. It's like, oh, it's just fine. So I feel like I'm going to describe it wine-wise. So I don't know how to explain it. definitely on the malty side. It is a dark beer. It's on the malty side. I can't taste notes of citrus or anything like that. So there's no fruit bouquet, no flower bouquet. The tail, like if there is a tail to beer, like if we could discuss this like wine, bear with me, I'm a wino. Not much of a tail, and I think I would prefer that in a beer. So this is the oldest beer company. Does it say it on here? It says it on the package. I actually took a bunch of pictures of them at Wine and More for you to see. So the next one, so it's the oldest beer company. The next one is, I'm so sorry. I like love Rumstein, and yeah, I don't know how to pronounce German. Go figure. So this is Germany's #1 black lager beer. I'm really excited with this one. So I'm just not even trying. I'm so sorry, but it's Germany's #1. All right, I see a little bit more foam. There's some hope. There's some hope. There's a lot more foam to this one. So yeah, when they ship it from far, you're paying more. I don't know. Oh, I'm getting really excited for this one. Oh, look at that head. All right. A little bit left in here. I'm gonna have to stagger it a little bit, because I need you to know which one is which. So this one, oh, that's a black beer. Does black beer stain your teeth? It's very little scent. Ooh. Oh, what is that? If these have notes, I'm going to add them in the caption below because I can only keep so many notes on me. But, oh my god. This is a really good beer. So, I'm so sorry, Guinness, but I have to compare your beer to theirs. So, because it's so dark. So, this is it's a black beer. I'm going to keep drinking it, but I have several. There's a drink, I would be drunk on a Sunday. Don't judge me, I actually didn't feel well, so I couldn't film it yesterday. But, so, I'm going to like pair it with its things. So as you keep watching, you're like, oh, that's not what the gut leaf. This is a stein I got from a place, so I'm going to describe later how you hold it for a stein hoist. So, I'm sorry. I forgot the taste. So if I had to compare it to Guinness, Guinness has almost like a bite to it. The bite in here doesn't hit you till later. And it disappears quicker. Not very malty in flavor. It's definitely heavy. It's a meal. But that's a good one. Alright. Wait, do I have another dark one? Let's go with these guys. This is very interesting. I'm just not gonna pronounce it. So another one in Germany. Very cool bottle. Whoopa! I mean, Prost! Ooh, it like... She drip. I made a mess. This doesn't pour that. What the? I'm gonna have to edit that out. This bottle's terrible to pour from. I'm just gonna. Alright. So, I could take a. This is another dark one. So it's Dunkel. I think it's like Dunkel. So thank you, Dunkel. So obviously it's not a black beer. So the oldest one, this is more red, this is more orange. Getting excited. Whoa, it's got a lot of scent to it. Oh, that's sweet. Very good. Oh, and I just noticed something on the bottle. This is just a free-for-all at this point. As far as what I say. Brewed according to the German purity law. So there are other countries, unlike the USA, they actually care about quality. That's why when I visited them, they said, no, we're not bottling this and sending it to you, because they have a lot of laws and rules. Like they take a lot of pride in all of their hard work as a country. Like you know how in the US, I hate to compare countries, we do this thing where we're like, oh, well, that's not my job. No one in Germany is ever going to say that. Like they always make sure like things are resolved, things are done right. Like there's never like, oh, that's above my pay grade. Like no, like they're very hardworking, like good people. Like it's insane. So Pilsner. All right. I do not like pouring this one. There's going to be a lot of head on this one. This bottle is so weird. Yeah, a lot of head on that one. I don't like these bottles. So if you're pouring, not good. I just think it's so pretty when you watch it and like there's the lines of bubbles, but I'm not going to wait. I'll just view it as a beer version cappuccino. It's a cappuccino, but it's... It's just straight up foam. I don't like it. I don't like it. I like you. I don't know about you. You're pretty tasty, but I like you and you. Oh, it's got a tail to it. This is a no. This is a no. Alright, I think I need to reorder these. So left or... I'll reorder them later. But yes? Okay. Meh. No. Alright. Titus. Alright. Is it twist? No. I don't think any of them would be twist. Oh, I had it the wrong way. My bad. Yeah, those other bottles made me question my pouring skills. So, it's another light colored beer. Oh, she foggy. Ooh, I don't like burping. I'm sorry. It's like almost flowery. Oh, not as sweet. There's like a flower in it, or yeah, there's like a flowery bouquet. Ooh. It's got an aftertaste. Dessert. So I was hoping this one tasted like that one. Next, this is Hefe Weisbeyer. I'm sorry. I'm kind of not sorry. You know, my comment about drinking on a Sunday, that's nothing people in Germany say. Alright, so this one, darker. Please don't have a nasty aftertaste. Or a tail. That's what we call it in wine language. Alright. No. Okay, so this one's the oldest, most classic. It's kind of like your average tasting beer, but it just so happens to be dark. It's my opinion. I'm sorry, German people, but like, very compare it. This one is very dark, and I can only compare it to maybe Guinness. It doesn't have that much of that like bite. This one's very delicious. It's got that beautiful color. It's delicious. It doesn't have that tail, and it doesn't, I don't know, like all alcohol is a little bit of a bite sometimes. This one I'm not tasting. It tastes bad. For my taste. It's not a bad beer, okay? I don't know if any of the Germany companies watching me. I'm sure it's not a bad made beer, but for my palate, it's just, I can't even sip it again. This one, it tastes good, and it's got this nice scent to it. Maybe I would listen to it, like, listen, oh my god, yeah, I can listen to beer. It's got like this flowery bouquet, but then it's got this aftertaste. It's nasty. I just can't. And I've had elderflower, like I've had flowers, like flavored things, but this has like, oh, and this one was very malty. This one, if you don't like, this is going to sound horrible. If you don't like beer and you don't want too many flavors, like you don't want too much to hit you, this one, not a strong flavor. It's got that thick opaqueness, I get it, but it doesn't have the bite. It's a little bit sweet, not too sweet. This one actually, if you hate sweet, don't drink this one. It's not, it doesn't have too much sweet where it would make you think it's fake. It doesn't have that typical, like, strong, obnoxious, like, hops in your face. It's not too malty. It doesn't have a tail. If you're not a beer person, but you want to try German beer, I recommend this one. If you want something like a dessert that's delicious, I drink this one. Speaking of desserts, so this cookie, I don't even know if I can get it over my head. I briefly tried mentioning it. It's already melting and stuff, but it's starting to stain the ribbon. But what it is that this cookie is freshly made this morning, and I tried getting the frosting to dry, and you could see I epically failed. The frosting did not dry, but it took me a very long time to decorate this in fast animation. I will show it to you now. want to take a bite. In Germany, these are shrink wrapped. And I did not make the traditional spice aside and then added it. I did to the best of my knowledge. These are usually like, so you know how in America we have those chalk heart candies and we give those to people and we're like, oh, imagine that. But, you know, you put your own phrases, but it's actually on a cookie. So this is not quite gingerbread, but it's not quite chocolate. It's got a chocolate to it. It's both. I'm gonna put on my, oh, but it's stained now. I don't want to stain my shirt. This is my cute little cookie. So, usually you get pretzels in the US, and I already know how this is gonna go. Usually only come like this. Typical white, fluffy on the inside. It's a typical American thing. You know what this reminds me of? I don't know if any of you know this in the US. When you want to be a substitute, there's several things you can check off. Do you want to just do teaching? Do you want to do gym? Do you want to do art class? Eventually you cross off cafeteria lady. This reminds me of the really doughy crust on the pizza we would give the middle school kids. And someone from Brazil or Colombia told me this. American bread's sweet. It's got that sweetness. So these, I've already had them. So when I went to Oktoberfest, they actually wanted a picture with us because they were shocked. Not that many people dressed up, but that's because they didn't have a contest. So, little weird fact is that I had somebody at a gas station harass my friend and I and be like, oh, you're cosplaying, right? Yes, I'm a cosplayer, but I like dressing up in traditional wear. But because I am not German, I would never go around doing a German accent because that would be disrespectful. So, cosplay stands for costume play. So this is just practicing and enjoying traditions of other countries. Not cosplay. But the lady at the, the little Snyder's booth, she, had a bunch of these. And we were given some of these, and I'm sorry, I keep burping. They're actually really good. Is it like sacrilege to dip it? So these are beer flavored. These are not sweet like the white pretzels. So if you're trying to buy these for your kids, it's not gonna be like that. But if it's beer flavored, just, a donut. Nah, it's shame plain. Stein hoisting. Did I cover everything? Wait. I keep talking about food. In the US, because the Bavarian colors are blue and white, I notice that people in the US get this super, really white sausage. That's a breakfast sausage. In Germany, you can look this up. My tour guide told me, and you can look it up. In Germany, early in the morning, they make the white sausage fresh. Oh my God, Katie. Fresh. They make it fresh, okay? fresh made sausage. That's why I said these people are different with their philosophies of how they approach things. They are not lazy. So they make it fresh in the morning. And by the time the church bells hit at noon, all that stuff's thrown away. Remember my tour guide being like, oh, come on, it's just 12:05. Can I please have one? He's like, oh, and like the guy rolled his eyes, like, it's not fresh. And like he's arguing with him, and he's northern Germany, and we were in Munich, and like he's like way up north, and he's like, oh, come on, like I just want it. And he did give it to him. And it is very typical to have it with a wheat beer. I'm not sure exactly what that entails. And all throughout Germany, you see beer vending machines. So in Germany, a lot of the people, they like to practice control. And definitely when they drink, they might act a little silly and dance, but they never get like out of control, if that makes any sense. Like, yeah, you're lowered inhibitions. You'll, maybe flirt with that girl you've always wanted to talk to. You'll maybe dance when you usually don't dance. But they don't get to the point where, like, you get really inappropriate. They just they take pride in, like, or they value more so, like, yeah, I drink, but I know how to hold my liquor. I know how to behave. Like, it's a very different culture. Do they still have fun? Yeah, absolutely. I gotta like do this, I know to insert it. Insert video of guy dancing. Because at a restaurant they said, as soon as he starts dancing, it's closing time. There's one guy that looked like David Bowie started dancing in Germany, and we were all dying. But, yeah, so the white sausage, that's a breakfast sausage. And I get it, you're trying to make it Bavarian colored. And I get it, this is navy blue. It's a darker version of the Bavarian color. That's forgivable because it's just fashion. But the white sausage, it's like... Another thing is that usually they try to implement that at 6 o'clock the music gets the music gets turned down to a certain decibel to be courteous to the fact that people might be trying to fall asleep. So that's something that, I've never even really heard the US doing. I've heard of towns having to like actually on purpose like try to sue companies for keeping music too loud past certain hours where it's like really late. So the fact that Germany themselves are saying, hey, we're just going to have it that it is always a thing that at 6 o'clock you turn the music down so that people know it's 6 o'clock, because time flies when you're having fun, right? But so people know it's 6 o'clock, but at the same time, it's just being courteous to your own folk. Like, yeah, it's not my job to care about others, but I'm going to do it anyways. Why? Because it's the right thing. It's like it's a very interesting philosophy when you visit there. I didn't visit every part of Germany, but I did. I couldn't have the Black Forest cake because it has dairy, but the toppings, like that cherry stuff, they gave that to me. Delicious. Definitely a very, very nice culture. Very like precise, polite people. They're not very, you know how we're very animated? They're not very animated when they talk to you. So some of the people in my tour group thought they were being rude. They're not being rude. That's just how they are. If that makes any sense. So I hope this was fun for you. I hope you enjoyed learning about attire. I hope you learned, a lot on the Steinhoist, which I want to show up my empty one. I forgot that. How could I forget that? So aside from keg tossing, there's Stein hoisting. So you have to stand. I'm not going to because I think I'm going to be out of the frame, the picture. But you would stand and you have to hold it straight out. So you got to have a little technique, like, how far do you want your knuckles to go in? Do you want your thumb on top, thumb like this? But I saw something interesting. The guy did this. And I was like, damn, if I knew I would have practiced that way, because it actually, your pinky's like kind of nothing. Doesn't really do anything. Even right now, this empty, I'm going to eventually get tired. So you're supposed to hold it straight out in front of you. You cannot bend your elbow. You cannot put it up to make it easier. You cannot go down to make it easier. And you cannot lean back. And you cannot hold your hip or put your hand in your pocket. Sometimes they let it slide if you put your hand just behind your back. Because it's not really, it's just to put your hand somewhere. Like if you're too tempted to this, you're like, I'm just going to put my hand out of the way. But they really want it that it's straight out, it stays like this, and you have to do it. It has to be filled. If it's you and another person, and let's say you're doing better, but you're shaking. Oh, that actually hurts your pinky out. But let's say you're shaking. Eventually your water is going to come out. At least the one I went to, they do water, so you're not wasting beer. But as you're holding it out, if you're shaking, if yours is like only this full and like you and another person are the only ones left and theirs is completely full, then they win. So it's really fun to do stein hoisting. It's really fun to do keg tosses. I don't do it because I have a bad knee, but I haven't seen maypoles. I'd like to see maypoles eventually. That would be fun. And I'd like to see one. I could have sworn I saw one that had farm animals. I really need to find one like that. But next year I'll probably go to more than one. I usually end up going to the one in White Mountain, the Loon Mountain one. I go to them. Just, I don't know, because you get the gondola and you get to go to the top and it's really nice, and it was really freezing cold. But I've always went there every year, so I just feel like I have to for some reason. This upcoming year, because of when Loon Mountain is, I'm probably going to end up going to a different one because I want to mix up my schedule for next year. But I hope that educated you a little bit about beer. Hope it educated you the difference between, you know, what something tastes like here versus what it tastes like in the US. And I hope you learned a new tradition that I would like to see happen here in the US because it's very cute. And to end this video, I want to try something. I'm probably going to make a total idiot out of myself. Girls look so cute. And I do that thing where they hold more than one beer. This leaks through the carpet. My neighbor's going to be so pissed at me. I don't know how they do this. This is a thing? Oh my god. Come on. Which one's the one I like? Alright, that's a good one. Ooh. Just hope I could snap a photo from that. Oh god, and these are like tiny ones. Like imagine if it was, this is actually, they could be bigger than this. But those are heavy, damn. But I hope you enjoyed. Come on, one more time. 2 sets of 1. Alright, you're coming with me. Take care.